look around for a second. We are, sitting squarely in 2026, and we are right in the thick of this massive AI gold rush.
Oh, absolutely. It is everywhere right now.
Right. But if you look closely at the landscape of who is actually building these highly profitable online companies, like straight from their laptops and living rooms, it's really not who you might expect.
No, it's not. The demographics of leverage have, well, they've completely inverted. We aren't just seeing those seasoned Silicon Valley veterans anymore, you know.
Yeah, or like the specialized machine learning engineers.
Exactly. They aren't the only ones claiming the territory. The data we're tracking right now shows a massive influx of absolute beginners. So I'm talking teenagers, solo founders with zero traditional computer science background, and they're architecting what can really only be described as digital empires.
Okay, let's unpack this because to me, the shifting demographic is it's the most compelling signal we have. So for you listening, our mission for this deep dive is to deconstruct the actual mechanisms behind all this.
Right, getting into the how.
Exactly. We need to look at how these solo operators are actually monetizing artificial intelligence, the specific tools they're using, and why understanding this shift is so crucial for you right now, no matter what industry you're in.
Yeah, and to understand that macro level shift, we really have to start at the micro level, the foundational building blocks of the whole digital economy.
Which is basically just text and code, right?
Pretty much every piece of software, every marketing campaign, every business plan fundamentally boils down to words and code. And for decades, the blank page was the primary bottleneck. You had to just sit there, draft, ideate, compile.
Which takes forever.
Right. But AI hasn't just sped up that process. It has entirely abstracted the execution layer.
Yeah, and I mean, we all know ChatGPT handles the everyday heavy lifting for text, right? Like drafting blog posts, writing YouTube scripts, structuring marketing emails, social media content, all of that.
It's like having a hyper-caffeinated intern.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to push back on this a little bit. I hear this hyper efficiency argument all the time. But if every single person on the planet suddenly has an AI assistant making them like 10 times faster at generating words, doesn't the market value of a written marketing email just drop to near zero?
That's a really common concern.
Right. Like, how is a beginner actually making real money if the supply of words is now infinite?
Well, I challenge the assumption that they are selling words in the first place. The market isn't paying for the text itself. It pays for the resolution of a problem.
Okay, interesting. Tell me more about that.
So think about a freelance copywriter. If they previously needed 4 hours to research and refine a conversion sequence, their income was strictly capped by the number of 4-hour blocks in their calendar. Right?
Yeah, there are only so many hours in a day.
Exactly.
Huh.
But they aren't dropping their prices just because they have ChatGPT. They are using it to handle the heavy lifting, compressing that 4-hour block into, say, a 30-minute refinement session.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they're essentially performing time arbitrage.
Precisely. It's not about charging a premium for AI-generated text. It's about decoupling their revenue from their physical time spent typing. They can just take on way more clients.
That makes total sense for text generation, but text is just, the top of the funnel. When we get to the actual software infrastructure, the code, the revolution gets a lot more complex.
Oh, massively.
Because we are seeing a massive migration of developers moving over to Claude and Cursor AI. Let's break down the why here. Why is Claude dominating the coding space right now?
Well, what's fascinating here is that it really comes down to architectural differences, specifically Claude's supremacy in long-form writing, research, and how it manages working memory.
Like the context window.
Exactly. Claude was designed to hold and analyze massive amounts of data simultaneously. When you are writing a complex application, you need the model to understand how your database interacts with your front end and your logic all at once.
Right. It's not just a single script.
Exactly. And Claude can ingest entire large documents or code bases and retain the context of how line 400 in one file affects line 12 in another.
Which means the natural language itself basically becomes the programming language.
Yeah, you just describe what you want and Claude handles the syntax. And absolute beginners are using Claude code to build websites and apps without hiring a single developer.
Which is wild. But then you also have Cursor AI, which seems to be the tool actually allowing these tiny startups to ship full SaaS products.
Yeah, Cursor is a huge paradigm shift. It isn't just a chatbot. It's a fully integrated development environment, an IDE. It sits on your machine, continuously reading your files.
Like a coworker looking over your shoulder.
Exactly like a senior engineer sitting right there. It predicts your next architectural move. It handles the bulk of the heavy lifting.
So the human is completely removed from the boilerplate typing. They transition from being a bricklayer to an architect.
Right. You make the high-level decisions, and the AI lays the bricks. And that fundamentally collapses the barrier to entry. Small startups are building entire SaaS products with tiny teams now.
Okay, so the beginner has the code. They used Claude and Cursor to build the app. They used ChatGPT to structure the business logic. The foundation is poured. But software without distribution is just a ghost town on a server, right?
You still need to sell the product or get eyeballs on your content.
Exactly. You need marketing, you need media. But what if you have zero design skills, zero budget, and you completely refuse to put your face on camera?
Well, that constraint is exactly what birthed the faceless creator economy.
Yes. And here's where it gets really interesting. We are watching this explosion of video creation. Creators are spinning up highly engaging YouTube videos, TikToks, and Instagram Reels without ever actually filming themselves.
It's a huge trend right now.
Tools like InVideo AI, Pictory, and Descript are driving this. But how is it actually working? It's not just slapping text over a static image anymore, is it?
No, not at all. The breakthrough is semantic matching. A tool like InVideo AI doesn't just read the words. It analyzes the script for emotional tone and pacing. It then finds stock footage that perfectly maps to the narrative and dynamically edits it all together.
And Descript approaches editing from a totally different angle, right? It's like editing a Word document.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You highlight a transcribed sentence, hit delete, and it seamlessly cuts that audio and video from the timeline.
That is just so crazy. But the visual component is only half the battle. Audiences won't tolerate those old robotic text-to-speech voices anymore.
Right. Which brings us to 11 Labs. The voice AI tools we have now are generating hyper-realistic voiceovers for podcasts, documentaries, and videos.
But wait, let me ask you this. If you aren't writing the script, filming the video, or speaking into the mic, who is actually running the channel? Like, what is the human even doing?
That's the million-dollar question. The human undergoes this vital identity shift. They move from being a creator to being a director or an orchestrator.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because they are liberated from the manual labor their capacity scales. Some creators are running multiple channels completely powered by these AI-generated voices.
It's just media arbitrage. And it extends heavily into visual arts, too. Look at image generators like Midjourney and Flux.
Oh, the passive income side of this is huge.
Right. People are creating logos, thumbnails, clothing designs, comic books, digital products, and a highly practical application for you listening right now. Etsy sellers are utilizing this AI art to build massive passive income stores.
They decouple creation from inventory. They generate a hyper-detailed design for fractions of a cent and use a print-on-demand service. They never even touch the physical good.
That sounds brilliant in theory, but honestly, managing all these separate tools like generating art, rendering videos, writing code, it sounds exhausting.
It can be a lot, yeah.
Like, how is a teenager managing all of this without burning? They can't be doing it manually.
They aren't. And that's why the automation market is such a major financial opportunity right now. Businesses are literally paying thousands of dollars for AI automation systems just to save time.
Okay, let's get into the tools for this. We're talking about platforms like Make.com and Zapier, right?
Exactly. People use them to automate customer support, lead generation, scheduling, social media posting.
It's kind of like building a digital assembly line where AI bots are the factory workers and the teenager is just sitting in the manager's office.
That's a perfect analogy. Make.com and Zapier act as the nervous system, connecting all these different APIs so they can talk to each other autonomously.
So instead of copying and pasting, Make.com grabs the text and shoots it directly into the next tool.
Yes, and this is the power of stacking. Combining multiple AI tools is the biggest opportunity right now. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the value isn't just knowing how to prompt one AI, it's architecting a system.
Can you walk us through a specific workflow for that? Like, how does a solo operator stack these tools?
Sure. Let's take that faceless documentary channel. You set a trigger in Make.com for, say, 3 a.m. It fires an API call to ChatGPT to write a script about a historical event.
Okay, so the script is done automatically.
Right. Then Make.com instantly wraps that script into 11 Labs to generate the voiceover.
Got it.
Then it takes the script and the audio and fires them both into InVideo AI to render the final video. Result: content that used to require a whole production team is now created in just a few hours by one person.
While they were literally asleep.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? We've covered a ton of ground here today about this AI gold rush.
Well, the core lesson from all the experts is this. The AI economy is still in its early stages. New opportunities appear monthly, and those who learn it early have a massive advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's this quote from the source material that really sums it up.
Yeah.
AI will not replace people, but people using AI will replace people who don't.
People using AI will replace people who don't. That is such a powerful takeaway. Thank you so much for breaking all of this down with me today.
Oh, anytime. It's a fascinating space.
And thank you for joining us on this deep dive. But before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over, something that wasn't in our source text but really builds on everything we just discussed.
Oh, I love these.
We just spent this entire time talking about how AI makes creating perfect content, perfect code, and perfect art so cheap and easy. But if perfection becomes automated and infinite, will human imperfection eventually become the new premium luxury commodity?
Oh, wow. That's a really interesting angle.
Right. Think about it. Will we one day pay extra specifically for things that aren't made by AI? Like the slight hesitation in a voice or a brush stroke that's just a little bit unbalanced?
Yeah, the things you can't engineer.
Exactly. We've spent centuries trying to engineer the human error out of our work, but soon that error might be the only proof that a human was ever there at all. So look around your digital world today and see if you can spot the humans. Because soon enough, they might be the rarest things on the screen.